spreading through the air. Still living fresh and living righteous, redeem and redeem after. Passing these joints like it never felt my point. I'm on a hot joint, heavy on this cliff, I call it a hot point. Let's get it.
Yo, nakwanga kwenye zone, you should watch your tone. My niggas wanakwanga on, uspime nandikanga kwa phone. Hii ni radiation, unasikiza ndani ya bars, uspime. They know that I'm the Don, teacher on duty, niki pull up na viboko skinge. I keep it real kwa kila nacho kifanya, plus I'm the sickest in the game, uspinge. Roll over old dogs, new tricks, politicians still using old tricks. Me no connect, tukilink, take pics, anytime ukiwa and shit tutaifix. Baba yao in the mix na wanajua wanafaa warudi keja by 6. Tafadhali usini jinx, wananitakia mema au ni show kila siku kwa streets.
Tunaigapi on the low, no jokes. Tunaigapi on the front, don't stop. Tunaigapi everywhere. Presence of the streets we spreading through the air. Still living fresh and living righteous, redeem and redeem after. Passing these joints like it never felt my point. I'm on a hot joint, heavy on this cliff, I call it a hot point. Let's get it.
Bele church, nyuma nyang'ande. Ni hard kusurvive hizi pande. Ni kama hatupatani ya fande. Umewai yako, wana unihande. Nilikuwa na mcall, daily ya nipande. Maarifa kamchacha anigande.
Okay, good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Karibuni sana to another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. To those who are on YouTube, on BitChute, on the network, and of course, Karibuni sana. Yesterday, I was not able to catch up with you due to lights here, but I'm grateful that today we're going to be having a great and amazing conversation. We shall be talking about the Alliance Sahel state, which is withdrawing from the International Criminal Court. And literally, as we see on this other side, where we have other African leaders who are puppets, of course, of this continent, begging for recognition at the United Nations. So literally, what we shall be discussing is, of course, the difference of what African leadership should be and what we have. Because for so long, we've been talking about how leaders like Trump and the West who have been calling African beggars and all that. And he's talking disrespectfully, actually, on their face, because he's one among the people actually who attended the United Nations summit. I'm not sure where it was held, but he spoke literally shit on their face. So it is crazy to see the two sides of what we're witnessing, especially in today's era and today's century. And literally, as we cover that, we're going to be talking about what Ruto had to say on this summit regarding how Africa needs recognition literally in the United Nations, and how much actually the African continent contributes in the United Nations, and why they're not literally recognized. It's something that actually should be taken very, very serious. We also have the DRC Congo president, that is, of course, Felix Tshisekedi, who had also something to say on the United Nations summit regarding the genocide, the silent genocide in his country. And it's crazy because what we're talking about, and as we talk about that, we also have the mission in Haiti, where we saw some troops from Kenya were taken. Not just Kenya, we had Benin, we had Chad. Remember, we had Jamaica, who some actually withdrew. Also in Kenya, we had some who actually withdrew from this mission. But it's crazy to see that as we talk about these problems, the same problems actually African leaders are highly contributing, by working with this same organization that they're begging to be recognized about. So yeah, that is my top conversation for the day. I have many videos aligned and articles as well back in the conversation. But before we get started, a quick reminder, as always, download our app on the Google Play Store. Blackout Fire Network is the name. Once you have the app, remember you can get yourself the amazing merchandise we have in terms of hats. We have in terms of sweaters, t-shirts, we have mugs, we have handbags. You can get yourself one for your side chick, unisex, literally handbags or carrier bags, whatever you'd like to call them. But of course, we also have amazing organic supplements. Your health is your wealth, and we keep on preaching that right here. So let me share some amazing brain and focus formula and the health benefits it comes with. And as you check the application, once you have it, which requires you 0 cents to sign in or download just your data literally, or being on the internet connected. And we shall be discussing literally, of course, much more. And you'll see much more from the app itself, because if you miss the show, you can be taken through the app to the rest of our streaming platforms. In case also the shows are taken down on YouTube, you can be taken through the app to Rumble, to BitChute, to Odyssey, and other streaming platforms. So enjoy the Blackout Fire Network. But for now, listen to the Brain and Focus formula and the health and benefits to keep you healthy.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just 1 capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Very amazing, affordable price. Karibuni sana once again. And in case you're facing any issues with or after, before or after purchasing these amazing organic supplements, ensure you email us at castingnewsam15@gmail.com. Once again, my name is Joby, and welcome to the Pan-African Bliss Show. In case you're on YouTube, on BitChute for the first time, kindly hit that follow, subscribe button, and of course, hit that like button as well. And enjoy the show of today. As we start with news and updates of what is happening in Malawi, remember that was on Tuesday, I discussed of Malawi, literally, the people of Malawi literally voting or looking to literally remove, that was Chakwera, who has not fulfilled a lot for the people. And of course, we had one of the competing or the presidential candidates that we had is the former president, who you can see on your screen, that is Mutharika. And it's a problem, like I said some time back. I've had problems of always Africans not being able to see through the problems, because how are you appointing, or why do you accept that someone who didn't deliver when they were president to come back in power, just because they went bankrupt? It's not making any sense. The fact that someone failed to deliver in their first period of their presidency, once you retire, that's it. Once your presidential terms are over, there's no second chances. And I believe this is actually a law that should be introduced in Africa to be specific. With Trump, it could be a different case. With Trump, it's a different case, because I've not seen in other countries where former presidents who have been presidents years ago coming back and trying to vie for presidential seats. Actually, people would not even agree to this. But it's sad to see that Africa, we've allowed this to become like a norm. And I have a problem about it personally, because we're talking about someone who's very old, again, very incompetent people again who are supposed to be retired, and yet coming back to deliver nothing like they have done before. So this is 5 years after being ousted by the court ruling, of course. An 85-year-old Peter Mutharika is set to reclaim Malawi's presidency, defeating his rival Lazarus Chakwera. And Mutharika told voters on the campaign trail that life was simply better under him, and Malawi has experienced one of its worst ever economic downturns since Chakwera took office. It's his fourth run for office, and though politics wasn't his first calling, he is back. He is now back and literally seeking for another presidential term. So they're saying that we have, of course, 5 years after being unseated on the court ruling, Peter Mutharika is set to return back to Malawi. Like I said, a highly trained law professor turned politician, Mutharika built a global career in education before entering Malawi politics in 2004, when his older brother Bingu became president. So you can see this as all again. We go back to a chain of nepotism that is connected to literally all this leadership of corruption. And he rose swiftly in Malawian politics, from MP to justice to education and foreign minister. By 2010, whispers of Bingu grooming him as the deputy president in 2014, that is the presidential candidate, star controversy. And when President Bingu was Mutharika, when President Bingu or Mutharika died in 2012, a fire succession battle erupted, and supporters tried to install Peter Mutharika, but Joyce Banda prevailed, becoming Malawi's first female president. Inflation dropped significantly during Mutharika's first term. When he succeeded Banda, the inflation rate was at 24%. By the time he left, it had shrunk to single digits. Okay, so he tried to do something. In 2018, Malawi's anti-corruption agency accused him of receiving kickbacks from $1.6 million contract to supply food to the police. Malawians took to the street to protest, but he was later cleared of any wrongdoing. Just like we saw John Mahama before he became president, actually when he said he's gonna vie for the presidential seat and was a presidential candidate, we saw, because I did a whole show of John Mahama, who was also a leader. He was also a president. Yeah, he was a president back then and now a president of Ghana again. They cleared all his criminal cases, literally all the files were cleared, and now is eligible to become a president again. For what? So we go back to literally also Mutharika. You can hear he received $1.6 million contract to supply food to the police. And of course, if you go deeper, there's a whole lot of more corrupt files, which right now I bet they're cleared, because if they're installing him as the next president of Malawi, I'm not sure about the number of which he stands as the president right now in Malawi, which is coming back again. But this is something that should not be allowed in the African continent. And if we really had, again, men who are standing up on their words like the Alliance Sahel state is doing. And again, it goes back to literally the topic of the day, which explains very well how we have literally what African leadership should be and what we see, because this should not be happening. This back and forth of people who have not delivered back then should not be really happening. But in 2019, his re-election was annulled after judges found evidence of tampered results sheet, and is the history ruling won global praise. So this is Malawians should actually be questioning about this, but sadly, they are hoping and believing. You can remember the videos I was sharing. They're like, we hope for change out of this. We hoping and believing has never taken us as Africans anywhere. That's where we're stuck. But I want to read a few comments of the people's thoughts on this, because this is an article coming from the BBC. And of course, bet majority of the comments is Africans right here. So we have someone says, if Chilima was alive and formed his own party, maybe he would have won his election. This is where we need to go back and understand we don't also control our election. But someone also says, why are Africans obsessed with old-aged politicians? 85-year-old president, OMG. It's not exactly, and it's not really Africans. Again, like I go back to, we don't control our election bodies. Like, they're not fully controlled by Africans themselves. And because we're not given and fed the right information, we think it is us who have a say, my vote is going to make a change and all that. But at the end of the day, they've already chosen puppets who should be there. Because that is a good question. Why would we be choosing incompetent people, even in terms of their own health? Like, why would you be picking people who are so incompetent, even when it comes to their own health? An 85-year-old, you're supposed to be retired. You're supposed to be seated down. And the fact that you have been president before and then coming back, it's very diabolic. Where did you use all the funds that you stole back then? 1.6 million that led the Malawians to the street. Where is it all gone now? And we're talking about in dollars. So this is super, super crazy. Someone also says 85-year-old of president. I know the age is something that Africans need to start waking up to. We can't be having old Negroes who are here for their own benefits of retiring and still don't want to retire. Another old man who doesn't even know what coding is, you see. It goes back to the Cameroonian president who we see he doesn't even know when he's in summits and what he's supposed to be doing on a summit. And this is why it is so shameful, because the fact this has been going on, this is the result of it today. We had the United Nations Summit, right? Like I said, I'm not sure. Let me check. Was the UN Summit held? In 2025, this is... yeah, so the most recent major UN summit, the 80th session of the UN General Assembly was held in New York City at the UN headquarters from September 23rd, 29th. It started in September 23rd. It's supposed to end on September 29th. That is in 2025. This annual meeting of world leaders addresses global issues such as peace, development, human rights, poverty, and climate change. And all of these issues, this is the 80th session. They have been discussing the same bullshit for over the years. What is the change we see today in Africa, to be specific? If you talk about peace, so many countries are not peaceful. If you talk about development, Africa is way far from being developed. If you talk about human rights, they're not respected. Poverty, it's at the highest, and that is what has been selling to these other white European nations. So what we have on your screen, the fact that we've been tolerating having old leaders to keep on serving us, this is the result of it. We're going to be having leaders who have the audacity to say we don't want any more dictatorship, and we're going to be having puppets who don't want to dare to become men and leaders, so all they can do is just beg. This is so sad. The fact that we keep on choosing old little, I'm sharing my tabs to make you guys understand, right? I love the fact that I found a new way of sharing tabs very quickly. Just hit. Yeah, the fact that we have tolerated this, having 85-year-old leaders, people who cannot even read and write or understand why they are where they are, is the result of having this instead of this. So let me share what Ruto had to say in the United Nations. And then the same man talking about peace, stability, recognition, human rights, being respected. Let's not forget he killed hundreds of people, thousands of people on the previous 2024 demonstration, and in 2025 demonstration, he ordered shoot to kill. This man, let's not forget, he's had cases back then in the International Criminal Court, which you can see the real men who are leaders are withdrawing from the International Criminal Court. But let's listen to Ruto, and then we go back if this is a man, try to understand if this is a man who is preaching what he says. Because we have him, remember he sent troops funded by the US or collaborating with the US. He funded troops, let me say he funded actually, yeah. He funded troops, him, Chad, Benin, and the rest of the countries that were involved, to send people to go destabilize a country that already is being destabilized. Like, we're causing more problem on top of problems. We had Haitians demonstrating, begging Ruto not to do what the US was bidding him to, but he still went on anyway. So listen to what he had to say. I mean, you listen to Ruto, you'll think he's very, very like intellect, like you're gonna buy it, but actions are different from words.
Cannot claim to be the United Nations while disregarding the voice of 54 nations. It is not possible.
Oh, you disregarded the voice of your own people. It was just one country. We didn't need 54 nations going after you saying Ruto must go. You only had your people, millions of people on the street saying you must go. Did you listen to that voice of human rights or democracy? Did it apply to you? So let's continue. Let's listen to more. Ruto is very smart, isn't he?
Africa is no longer willing to wait on the margins of global governance while decisions about peace, security, and development are made without our understanding, without our perspectives.
Oh, are you sure these decisions are being made without your consent? Because if so, how did you agree to taking your troops to Haiti, a mission that barely actually involves Africa as a continent? I mean, yeah, these are our people, these are Africans, but you've not dealt with the problems within your own continent to go outside your continent to try bring peace, actually, which is not peace. But let's listen to Ruto.
And without our voice. Africa's exclusion is not only unacceptable, unfair, and grossly unjust, it also undermines the very credibility of the United Nations.
Oh my God. I mean, this is the same man talking who is allowing the United Nations to move in Kenya, which is expected and has already started paving its ways to make the lives of Kenyans harder. So what is this guy talking about? This is the same man addressing the United Nations, is the same people inviting the United Nations to come to Kenya. So the F are you talking about?
This organization. Africa dominates most of the Security Council agenda, provides some of the largest contingents of UN peacekeeping forces, and bears the heaviest costs of instability.
Okay. The number one bearer and contributor of instability understands instability now.
Yet we remain the only continent without a permanent seat at the main table.
Why is that? It has taken you almost 80 years, 100 years of your life to understand you Negroes don't matter at this table, and it's not about you. It has taken you, like, how long is it still going to take? Because it's still not hitting your head. And that's why I'm saying there's a difference between you and this. These are two different people. There's a difference between you, who's begging for recognition, and there's someone who doesn't want the recognition. They recognize themselves already. But let's go back to Ruto.
Decisions about our destiny are made. You cannot claim to be the United Nations while disregarding the voice of 54 nations.
Okay.
It is not possible. Africa is no longer willing to wait on the margins of global governance while decisions about peace.
Yeah, so the man talking, and I love the comments. Oh my God, you gotta be proud of our African people and of course Kenyans at the same time on this comment section. This is a video that has literally about, I'm not sure about the views, but we have about 58,000 who have seen, 58,000 of the people who have seen this. And one of the comment section is, or the comment is, Mr. President, you and your African counterparts need to stop the empty noise and the casual bluff. I love that. Go back home and fix your rotten governance. Build inclusive systems that actually serve our people. Stop rigging elections and calling it democracy. Stop looting state resources and calling it development. Make accountability the norm, not the exception. You have no legitimacy to demand power sharing in global governance while you enslave your own citizens through corruption, repression, and bad leadership. You sit with the Western powers to bargain away Africa's wealth, then come back crying for respect. Exactly. I mean, what? I need to repeat that comment. I need to repeat it. This is exactly what people need to say. Mr. President, you and your African counterparts need to stop the empty noise, the casual bluff. Go back home and fix your rotten governance. Build inclusive systems that actually serve our people. Stop rigging elections, which we know, of course, we don't control, so we're going to give him grace for that, and calling it democracy. Stop looting state resources and calling it development. Make accountability the norm, not the exception. You have no legitimacy to demand power sharing in global governance while you enslave your own citizens through corruption, repression, and bad leadership. You sit with the Western powers to bargain away the way of Africans' wealth, then come back crying for respect. This is hypocrisy of the highest order. Until you clean your own house, you do not deserve a seat at any table. And that is a bomb. Mic drop. Like for real. Mic drop. Because what is Ruto talking about? This is the same man who has killed thousands of people for just asking for democracy or demanding democracy. Or Africa not being recognized, 54 countries. That is the highest form of disrespect. You've been disrespected all your life. That's why I'm asking. It has taken you, old bunch of people, for you to understand that white people don't want you at the table. It's not about you. It is about them and their interests. This is a shame, and we are ashamed to have you as leaders because you make us look like beggars like you. We are not. We ain't beggars. This is the problem why the rest of the world is making Africans are beggars. Africans are always, you are the beggar. On a fine suit, you'll think he's very smart. He's the highest beggar, the highest beggars of all of them. Bakaribu Sana Keith, he's making me mad. Damn.
I didn't hear you. You're early today, ain't you? Ain't you early?
Yeah, I'm early because of Kamlesh not being on time, and of course, trying to go to the hospital. I see the weather is changing. It's trying to look rainy out here. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, we're talking about Ruto, Karibu. We're just talking about Malawi. Let me just take you through the conversation. We're talking about Malawi and re-electing a former president, which personally I always say I have a problem about having previous presidents who didn't deliver anything for the people coming back. And at a very old age, which you said they are bankrupt. Remember, we were having this conversation and you said...
Yeah, they're usually bankrupt when they got to... That's what these African leaders are morons. They're incompetent. They never built nothing in their life. Like I was talking about yesterday with on their time show. It was out about my 70. We were talking about what is the GDP of Uganda? It is 50 billion. I said, you know what? Let me see what is the GDP of just my city I grew up in. I'm born and raised. Let me see. I know it was even she said $1.2 trillion because the city said, I'm going to leave in 5 years, make Uganda a $500 billion a year economy. So that would make it the #1 economy in Africa. I said, this is crazy. My city, I know my state is richer than all African nations. My city, Los Angeles, is richer than every African nation. Make it make sense. Not a state, my city, like a Nairobi. City of LA, GDP is $1.2 trillion a year. My city is richer than every African nation. All of them.
The resource says we've not built any industrialization. We're so behind. I was reading an article somewhere which was talking about if Africa, we built industrialization, literally. If we industrialized ourselves, we'd be 10 times richer than the rest of the world. Like,
exactly, because you know why? Because the resources are there.
Exactly, but they have not done this. So I'm saying this is the problem, right? So as we try to catch up with what I was talking about, we have Malawi, which has ousted. Of course, we have Chakwera, who has been removed as president. Lazarus Chakwera. He's not done much for the people. Malawi.
Oh, somebody they had a coup or something. Somebody got removed as president.
No, they had an election on Monday. Remember, I was reporting and I shared this woman was saying, we're hoping and believing for change. And I said, that is the problem of always hoping and believing. Because your hope and believing brings you another coon who has been a president before. We're talking about...
That's who won again? The past president won again? He's like 80?
85. Yeah. Exactly.
So He won, right, Joe? He's the winner, right?
Yes, yes.
So he's 85. He's 85. Let you know, your hope, ladies. That's why Chinese, remember, they went Malawi, they called you all stupid. That video called you all low IQ. You just validate everything they say about you. Man's 85 years old.
Exactly.
Shouldn't be your president. There's no new ideas. He's an old man.
Exactly.
Okay? He's an old man.
Someone said on the comment, one of the comments I was reading, someone says, why are Africans obsessed with the old age politicians?
Everybody Africans old is fucking crazy.
Because exactly, and I'm saying the problem is not really Africans, but of course, this is also it's Africans' problem, because the fact that you had someone who didn't deliver back then trying to come and telling you that the governance or this leadership is gonna be better under me. You didn't do anything when you are president. So if you're trying to tell me at your retired age you can't even take care of your own health, trying to tell me you're gonna take care of a country, go even try work out to live longer or something. Go handle your grandchildren or something. Go have a good quality time with your wife and family for the remaining years of age.
I can't make no money doing that, and I don't want to.
None of our business. Do you need more peace or money? Because you're gonna die anyway and leave it right here.
I know, but I want to die. I want to die in a nice house, nice lavish. I want to live good before I die. That's right. And if you morons don't keep putting me in power, I'm gonna keep doing it. That's why John Mahama came back in Ghana. These Africans, you guys never learn about this. These leaders are. You look at the African leaders like it's a clown show. This is the most craziest thing you ever see.
The worst circus ever we have, literally. But this what you have on your screen, having old leaders like Museveni as well, 82, and still wants to come up for presidency. This is the problem we have. So look at the patterns. We have Ruto. We had the United Nations Summit, which was held at the New York City, at the UN headquarters. It started from 23rd of September. It's supposed to end on 29th of this particular month. And of course, as usual, which is the 80th session, they're saying that this is the bullshit they've been discussing for whatever years of this organization existing. Yeah, so I'm asking.
It existed. I think United Nations got started with 1940, right after World War II, 46, 47, something like that.
These schools were born, so they were born, and of course, African nations were immediately involved without being given a table, because the mission, the agenda is all about the resources. We are the generator of wealth to the rest of the world, whether they want to say it or not. This is facts, and we know now. We're not back in these stupid schools of theirs. So the difference we have about, look at me. I was saying I love the way I've been able to understand how to share tabs very quickly on StreamYard. What you have on your screen, 85 years old of age, leads to this. But when you have real leaders, this is what you have. You're not going to be at a table where you're not wanted, begging like Ruto. You're going to be out of the table because you demand respect.
That's why you see even Toure had none of that shit. The days of African begging is over. I'm not being summoned to nobody. We're the wealth of the country. As he's telling them, we're the wealth of the planet, not you.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna be summoned by nobody. And I'm not gonna allow disrespect in my face.
Exactly. So Ruto, I want to share his video very quickly since I've shared it again.
All right.
And with not just him, we have Skedi. We have most of these coons. When I was listening to the whole video of now African leaders talking, who Trump shitted on their face, he shitted on their face.
Of course.
I love Trump, man. You gotta love him. I don't know how people hate him. I just can't. You gotta hate him for what he does. But his character as a person, oh my God, is just hilarious, and it's what you need from leaders. I'm gonna shit on your face. Do you know who you're talking to? I might be a puppet, but I give you the orders. So what's up? Yes, so this is Ruto. Listen to Ruto. You'd think he's a very intellect man, if I'm using the right term. And I love the fact that on the comments, Kenyans, Africans came immediately understanding what these coons are all about. They talk so smoothly, so got the punctual English, you think they're making sense. But back in their countries, they're not doing the same. So listen to what Ruto is saying.
You cannot claim to be the United Nations while disregarding the voice of 54 nations. No. It is not possible.
You disregarded the voice of your own people. One country.
Exactly. Voice. He's on the voice of it. Listen, he's been told to say that bullshit because they're now saying because they understand that African, like people like Joe, are waking up. The United Nations say, oh shit, the Africans gonna start waking up. And we've always, like Joe said, we always shitted on these goofy niggas because we know they're childlike and stupid and nice. Mm-hmm. And so they say, we're going to, remember, they're going to sit out there and say, oh, now they're going to say, Africa, you can have a seat at the table, but you still can't vote. So you don't have a seat at the table.
Yep.
They let you there, but you still got no vote, so why be at the table then?
You can't be at the table. Just listen to this.
Africa is no longer willing to wait on the margins of global governance, while decisions about peace, security, and development are made without our understanding.
Oh, are made without your understanding. They are made with your understanding.
Exactly. They're made with your understanding. You just not asked to come to the table. Just like when you had the goofy African leader Joe showed 3 years ago try to go to Ukraine. Ukraine said, how dare you dumb niggas try to come here and tell us to do something. It was South Africa and like 6 or 7, I don't know the country. Ukraine said, hey, you goofy niggas go back to Africa, get your ass out of here. We don't listen to you poor morons.
Addressing about global peace decisions being made without Africans' knowledge or consent is the same man who's contributing to the destabilization of Haiti.
Exactly.
I'm about to show you a video. We have a video trending of him talking about how the U.S. failed to provide the proper equipment for the troops he sent, the Kenyan troops, and which is a failure of the U.S. Oh, didn't you know this from the beginning? You knew.
Exactly. You know, exactly. And since you talk about the security, why you allow these white people put all these terrorists run around Africa? And you know they're the ones doing it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Couldn't deal or help Congo or Sudan with what is happening, but went all the way to the Caribbean, a Caribbean nation.
Yeah. But all the way to Haiti, next door to Jamaica.
Without our perspectives and without our voice.
Oh.
Africa's exclusion is not only unacceptable, unfair, and grossly unjust, it also undermines the very credibility of the United Nations.
Oh, okay. So now you care. So listen, I love this comment. Before me reading this comment, this man says, shout out to him. His name is Salah Amin. Shout out to him. Mr. President, you and your African counterparts need to stop the empty noise and the casual bluff. Go back home your rotten governance. Build inclusive system that actually serve our people. Stop breeding election, calling it democracy. Stop looting state resources, calling it development. Make accountability the norm, not the exception. You have no legitimacy to demand power sharing in global governance while you enslave
you don't. You don't because you're not going to get it either because you have no power and you're not respected. So that speech is just some goofy shit you're saying. Right? The people, Chinese people don't respect you. White people don't respect you. Indian people don't respect you. So you giving your goofy speech, let us have some power sharing on the world.
It's not gonna work.
What? They're the same people that putting terrorists in your country. They're the ones create your Al Shabaab and your Boko Haram and all this other shit that you ain't stopped. And you ain't never even called them out for doing it.
Yeah, he goes on and say, you sit with the Western powers to bargain away Africans' wealth, then come back crying for respect. That is a hypocrisy of the highest order. Until you clean your own house, you do not deserve a seat at any table.
The Africans are starting to know that you bootlicks are put there to give away the wealth of Africa. They started to know it finally. Now they finally starting to know that you bootlicks are just managers of giving wealth to white and Asian people. They're starting to finally know it.
Exactly. Exactly. So the difference between what the two images I've shared from Malawi to Kenya, before I go to the video of Haiti and another video also, Trump shitting on their face now, straight on their face. I love him the way I love Museveni. You know, they're all puppets, master leaders, but there's something that you gotta like about, you know, it's just something you gotta find it. But yeah, we have
I got you.
Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, which came out just 2 days a day ago. Actually, yeah, this is 23 hours ago, and announced that they're gonna immediately withdraw from the International Criminal Court. So as you have other people trying to find a table, these are real mentally new. Hey, we don't
Yep.
want your table. We're creating ours.
Exactly. That's how power moves. This court was set up to prosecute Africans. It's never prosecuted nobody white who's committing all these goddamn crimes.
Yep.
Nobody. It was done to say, African, if you don't follow what we white people tell you to do, we're going to lock your ass up. And since you're bootlegs, you all sign these papers. Now when you get real power, you say, are you out of your fucking mind? Who do you think you're going to tell me that I'm supposed to come to your court? And I'm an African, I rule, goddammit. I don't go to Europe for you to pass no judgment over me. Are you insane? And that's what Ibn Torre said. You don't ever pass judgment over me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sovereign African. So Ibn Torre's talking about taking back power. See, this is going to be, as I told you, 20 years, it's going to change. Because you got too many Africans talking like an Ibn Torre. These cowardly bootlegging Negroes, I'm telling you, all the money you stole, that's going to be stolen back from you too. That's nothing, you morons. Your families are not going to be able to live in Africa. They're going to be coming for your ass. So good luck to you. Anyway,
Exactly.
go ahead, Joe.
One of the first comments I'm reading is the ICC only prosecute African leaders, even though
Exactly.
the West is the cause of all African
All
countries.
the crime. Yep.
Wars. Yeah, so Ibrahim Traore says went ahead and labeled it an instrument of neo-colonialist.
Exactly what it is.
The three military-led countries issued a joint statement saying that they would not recognize the authority of the UN-backed court based in The Hague.
Exactly.
What does this withdrawal mean from the three states? They mean freedom. That is what they mean. They mean
Exactly what it means. We will not be ruled by white people no more. That's what it means. We will set up our own goddamn rules and we will rule ourselves. That's what it means. So we're not responsible for somebody come and say, okay, yeah, because there's all these African morons with these puppets, oh, you're all going to be part of the Hague, right? You're all going to do it. That's not your choice. You're going to be put into it. Yes, white daddy, we are. And we say all African nations are in it because they don't have any power. This is Africans, and that's why they're a threat. Why they got to be killed, why you get propaganda and everything else, why terrorism in the countries, all that shit. Because these are African men finally being a goddamn man. You take power. I don't ask no white man for what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Period.
I'm not part of your shit. You take your courts and put them up your ass. And I don't recognize them. Your court can't judge me. Fuck you are.
Because this is what this is how they're gonna be talking to you, and you're gonna keep on begging despite them
Exactly.
talking to you. This because you've
Crazy.
not at your own table, you've not demanded respect. You keep on asking for respect. That is the difference. There's asking and demanding. And demanding means you take some of the things into your own hands. That means
Exactly.
controlling things that they have been long dictating to you. What do you mean you can't do this what do you mean I can't do this in my own house? Who
Exactly.
are you?
Exactly.
What? It's
That's
crazy.
what, and what you said, Joe, and that breeds contempt and disrespect. You don't have a backbone and you're cowardly, especially to these goddamn animals right here. That breeds contempt and disrespect.
Yep.
That's why they do it right in your face.
Exactly. Listen to this is the same thing. Like we're talking about the Burkina Faso, the Alliance Sahel state withdrawing from the International Criminal Court, and who should actually be prosecuted. Listen to how Trump is talking.
The United States of America's.
He's talking like this after we had someone like Felix Kedi saying the UN needs to recognize the silent genocide in DRC Congo. Recognize These are the same people saying.
And the UN needs to recognize because he's a weak bastard. Ain't you a president? Aren't you supposed to be stopping the genocide in your own goddamn country? No, we need the UN to recognize.
President Donald Trump has told the UN summit that the current wave of recognition of Palestinian statehood represents a submission to Hamas and encourages conflict, blasting Western countries that have chosen to recognize a Palestinian state in recent days.
That's how you know these Negroes. I mean, this white man's a puppet. Trump is a puppet. It represents, and he's wicked and evil. It's so wicked, no good bastard here. Because they've given no choice but to recognize Palestine as a state, because they've already genocided and everything else to these people, and should have been a state after the Ottomans, as I was showing Irritan yesterday, as the Ottomans lost power. That was a country then, and these other people came in and just stole it. Literally walked into these people's houses, stole their houses, and they know the history, but they're evil. This is some evil shit. It's evil. And he's just telling you how evil he is. And he's not going, and he knows the cat's own is that. This would be wrong to do right. The cat said, yeah, Joe, get your punk ass out there. Get your diaper ring stinking ass out there and sell the soap, boy. It used to be evil. It used to be evil if they do this and be wrong. It'd be wrong if we don't do evil. You know, being evil is good. Good.
Because as that happens, we have people like, we have other bootlickers like Ruto paying lots of amount of money for recognition. Remember what we were reading just the other day? Can't remember.
Yeah, he was forced. He was he was forced to do that. He didn't. Yeah, you believe that that's what he wanted to do. He was forced to do that. You're gonna pay an American for not doing nothing, hundreds of $1,000s a month. You got that, boy? That's what you're gonna do.
Trump says Hamas has repeatedly rejected reasonable offers to make peace while holding Israeli hostages and dead bodies. President William Ruto has...
They don't think that the fake hostage nonsense. This is all fake. Because we know Hamas, so Hamas is created by is not real. He knows that. So see, it's the fake terrorist thing. We know the Mossad created Hamas and funded it. All right, but see all the fake news, all the terrorists got the hostages. What? From the terrorists that you created, that you control? See how this is all fake? This is called kabuki theater. It's a lie. Hamas was created by the Israelis, by Mossad. Exactly. So it's a fake, another fake terrorist group like Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, ISIS. What's the other goopy group? All these goopy fake terrorist groups that the West creates. ISIS, Al-Qaeda. Remember, they got Al-Qaeda in the Sahel. Okay, Al-Qaeda. All these goopy terrorist groups created by them. So he's saying the same fake talking points as a puppet would. Oh, we just stopped the October 7th hostages. Which everybody's been to Israel. I've been there. You know, it's a lie. You can't get anything in or out of Gaza at all. You can't get guns in or out. You can't get these things supposedly fly to the wall and kill people. It's all fake. It's all a lie because they want time to kids on YouTube trying to GENCIDE these people, and it was because they wasn't ready to get. They're tired of them. They ready to take the rest of the land, all of it. What they do. That's why the same people in South Africa, the same hats. Come, we're gonna take all of South Africa back, all of it, from these goofy niggas, all of it. So it's the same thing. And they just call it, and they just make up fake lies like this doodle-written moron here, shitting on himself, constantly walk around with shit on his ass.
Also recognize the Palestinian statehood, committing to support peace talks. Melita Oletengis reports.
The same fake peace talks he signed about DRC Congo. Now, why the begging for the genocide to be recognized if there was a peace, the real peace signed? This is what we understand. The lies are catching up with them. We signed a peace deal with the US. So how comes now the same person is begging for what? Crazy.
Recognize the state of Palestine.
Multiple European countries announced recognition of a Palestinian state during a summit at the UN General Assembly on Monday. The countries who recognized Palestine include France, Belgium, Monaco, Luxembourg, and Malta. Britain, Canada, Australia, and Portugal have also formally recognized Palestine. But United States President Donald Trump's administration continues to back its Israeli ally, rejecting the Europeans' move.
Some of this body is seeking to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state. The rewards would be too great for Hamas terrorists for their atrocities. This would be
That's not funny. These are tragedies and terrorists and other tragedies and terrorist things they've done, even though it was the Israeli that created Hamas. We all know that. I'm just talking stupid shit because my Jewish handlers are making me say it. They give me all my money. I'm really a dummy. In real life, I'm a racist. I'm a racist, a doodle dummy. I'm racist, but I'm
for these
horrible crimes.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres told a UN conference in New York that nothing could justify the collective punishment of Palestinians, starvation, or any form of ethnic cleansing.
A one-state scenario where Palestinians are denied basic rights.
And what you see here is theater again. This is theater absurd because we know the cats created this fake-ass organization. They control it today.
Yep.
So all they're doing is they might want to sacrifice Israel right now because they already start moving. You don't know. Remember Ukraine. And what? Joby had all them leaders. They showed all their leaders were from. They never. It's not real. They're all from Ukraine and Poland. But most of them from Ukraine. So that's what the Ukrainian war. So now you got whole cities being built where no one can go in unless you're not a cat with a hat in Ukraine right now. Right now. I told you the war against Russia was to get their homeland back. Remember, that's Khazaria. Ukraine was this ancient Khazaria. You got no real history. That's ancient Khazaria. That's their ancient homeland. Okay? And they feel the Russians stole from them. So if they don't care about Israel, they blow it up, so what? You get Ukraine back. That's what they really want. Okay? That's why they're there.
Yeah, so it's all just lies. But there's another video where you're talking shit to them. Oh, this some of you want to act smart. I'm smart with all this stuff. Just talking shit to their face. I'm like, damn, these are the same people begging for recognition because we have Felix. Let me just share very quickly. Felix Kedin, the president, of course, of DRC Congo, has issued a stark warning to the international community, describing the ongoing violence in Eastern Congo as a silent genocide. Speaking before the world leaders, Kedin made an urgent appeal for international recognition of the crisis and demanded concrete actions. The same man talking is the same man who has not done anything for any form. He's not tried because, again, if he tried, we'd see many attempts like Burkina Faso.
Because he's not strong. He's not a leader, Joe. He's weak. So he doesn't know. He's not a military man either. Most of these morons don't really know how to build real military. See, even Touré comes out the military. So he knows what real power is and how to build it. These morons, they don't know how to build any real power. They don't know how the military works. And they're scared to death to actually really do any fighting. Most of those African leaders, they're all cowards. Ruto's a coward. That fucking Equatorial Guinea's a coward. Museveni's a fucking coward. That Kupi Paul, but these are all cowards. So they're never going to do any real fighting. They're cowards.
Exactly. So this is a short documentary from CNN, not really with the heavy details, but a little bit, but just trying to explain literally. The same person begging is not trying to do anything for the country because they've been looting millions of wealth from DRC Congo, while the country and the people are sinking in poverty.
Trillions of dollars have been thrown out of Congo. Trillions. Trillions.
In the Democratic Republic of Congo, a militia flaunts its new army on graduation day. These men are said to be former Congolese army soldiers who laid down their arms during fierce battles for the DRC's largest eastern cities of Goma and Bukavu. The man watching over them is Kone Nanga, the leader of the Congo River Alliance, which includes the M23 rebel group allegedly backed by Rwanda. The White House brokered a peace deal between the DRC and Rwanda in June, but these rebels are still fighting. Rather than peace, this former election chief says he plans to take his soldiers to the capital, Kinshasa, to overthrow DRC President Felix Tshisekedi.
Our aim is to go to Kinshasa. We are going to go with our Congolese people. We are Congolese. We don't benefit anything from Rwanda, and we don't need it.
And I want to tell you how this is a lie. So the same man, there's a documentary I shared some time back.
We don't be envy anything from Rwanda, which is a lie. Now, if America wanted to go in, they go and just, if they don't, they want the chaos, because that's still, American army go and wipe all these goofy niggas out. Just wipe them out. The American army would go through their ass like a hot knife through butter and just wipe these niggas out. But they don't want to do that because they can't, they have no chaos with the stealing that goes on. The trillions of dollars that get stolen out of Congo. So they let all these goofy malicious people exist and keep talking all this stupid shit.
Yep, because there's a documentary I shared some time back of the same man, like if they said, is being backed by Congo and Rwanda and Uganda. And
Uganda,
then within Congo itself, within now that is Kinshasa, DRC Congo itself, we had a group of other people now forming their own military group, training themselves because they're saying that they need to defend themselves from this guy and this group who is claiming.
Of course they do, because they've got no repression, because this moronic president, that's something to break. They really want to break the Congo up into some more pieces so it's easier to control. So this moron here, Tshisekedi, is an idiot. He's a moron. He doesn't know how to rule. He doesn't know how to really manage a country. None of these niggas know how to really be presidents, Joe. They don't know anything about being a president. Y'all idiots. They all want to just live good lifestyles and be called His Excellency and ride around in fancy cars and planes, Joe. But they don't really know how to build a country, Joe. They don't know how to build society.
It's evident. It's so evident.
CNN traveled to Goma in eastern DRC to interview the M23 leader amid fresh accusations of severe human rights abuses and war crimes leveled against all sides, but especially at M23.
My team confirmed that the M23 committed widespread torture and other mistreatment, including sexual violence against.
Imagine, before the white man got there, Congo was a peaceful kingdom, Joby. Nobody murdering and killing and robbing and stealing. A peaceful kingdom before these people showed the fuck up with their robbing and stealing and fucked up fake ass religions. All this other shit. And all problems of Africa leads back to these people.
Yep, sure.
These are the liars. Fake report, there's none true on that.
You don't agree with...
You are the liar, because the real actually people trying to fight back from you they're not being funded by anyone. They even, because I remember I shared that documentary, man. We even had women trying to participate in the same group, saying that men were so tired of lack of peace in the country. We have to keep on running.
Yeah, because he's lawless. Because they got him. He's lawless. His ass is lawless. He's raping women. He's got no oversight. He's evil. They corrupt. That's what's going on. Exactly. Because of that. Because that place is so wealthy. That's why. Why?
Yeah, so this is in Kenya. Let me share, not Kenya, but this is from now Ruto talking about, the same man talking about how global peace agendas are not included when it comes to African leaders. The same man sent troops to Haiti, and there's a report, another video circulating of how there's a mother who has not heard from her son. One of the troops sent. How's
that even going? That's been out the news. How the Kenyan troops getting along in Haiti? I haven't heard of that like in 7-8 months.
They're dying. They're dying there. No one cares because 6 months ago, there's one of the moms who has been looking for her son and has not heard it from him. And
I told you that you're not gonna go to another African nation, be African, and be on the side of the white man and his oppression. These other African people are going to take offense. They're going to get to killing your ass.
So she was actually hearing it from the news when Ruto was complaining about how the US failed to provide good equipment and resources for.
They told you the one. So what Joey said, my 5 minute interruption. Joey said Joey read the document where the US said, "Hey, we told Kenya we wouldn't give them shit. You the ones that's going to financially back this." I'm like, what?
I think actually that was Demore some time back. I remember.
Oh, that was Demore. Yeah, I forgot.
Listen to this.
In Haiti, the mission was launched to counter the armed gangs, but it itself is struggling with staffing and logistics. And who said it? Kenyan President William Ruto. He was addressing a high-level meeting on Haiti on Monday. The event was organized by the US and Kenya on the sidelines of the annual UN gathering of world leaders. Ruto said that Kenyan-led multinational security support mission in Haiti was operating at less than half of its capacity.
We have been operating at a 40% capacity. Initially, it was expected that 2,500 security personnel would be made available. Unfortunately, they were not made available. It was also expected that there would have been force multipliers, that we would have armored personnel carriers, we would have
armored personnel carriers.
Enough.
We don't even
How about the pay? You ain't got none of that shit in your own country, moron. What are you talking about?
They are not being paid because I remember one of them came and exposed not being paid. They're not being paid.
Logistical support to be able to make this mission successful.
The Kenyan president next talked about Washington's involvement in the mission. Ruto thanked the US for the support, but he also criticized...
What support? America ain't getting no support because you know what? You know who runs Haiti? Oh, can you say it? There's cats with the hats. They make all the money in Haiti. There's one specific cat with the hat. It's mind-boggling. Every time you turn around, you find a cat in a motherfucking hat. Every time.
They're everywhere. It's so crazy.
Everywhere.
But yeah, it's not making sense. I was listening to that old video. It just didn't make any sense. Talking about his points are very weak because the same things you're trying to defend, you've not even approved them in your own country. If you look at our police cars, let me show you. I think there's one guy who was trending because he was recording the police car that came to arrest him, and it was such a wreck. He was like, "Oh my God, I'm even ashamed to be arrested in style. Like, what is this you're coming to carry me with? Because it is very embarrassing." To talk about police stations, let me show you our police stations. So this man is talking to an officer.
Yeah, no, exactly. You can't, Bruno. None of you morons have never developed Kenya. So you're a third world country. So in a third world country, that's why you can't have the initiative. You don't have any money, stupid. That's why you can't. That's why you just tell them we need to be a part of the decision making. No, you can't be. You're broke. You're broke, stupid. You take loans.
This is a police station in Kenya in 2024.
What the fuck is that?
That is a police station. You will see a police station in Nandi County. This is a police
yeah, so how are you going to have what you're doing a peacekeeping mission in Haiti? This is your police station here. Huh? You sound crazy as cat shit. But they know that they know that. That's why they're not taking shit. That's a white supremacist. Come on, we got these other Africans helping us, so it's not racism. They know damn well that you don't have no money and you don't have any damn ability to carry out any mission because your country's broke. It's insolvent. because you have put yourself in bad loans that these people have gave you to keep you broke and fucked up, and you've never developed the country. Shout out to the guy. Shout out to the guy, the Singaporean president was talking about you African moron. He said he never understood why you fucking idiot. And I said like I said, because you idiot. This is the Singaporean president. Now Singapore went from third world to the first world, right? He's talking about you African morons. So he said these Africans, they buy these big cars and the countries are broke. It don't make any sense. All these Africans got big cars and private planes. Their countries are broke. They haven't built no infrastructure, no industries, and they keep riding around in big cars. And it's like it's something wrong with their ass mentally. Yes, they're all from poverty, Mr. Singapore, man. They want to be the big head nigga. I'm the big head nigga. Look at me. Look at me in my car. I'm the big head nigga. Look at me. How about you build a car? How about you build manufacturing where you build it, stupid, instead of riding in it? And so the Singapore president, don't they understand? This makes white people disrespect them more, respect them less. Because white people know they ain't built shit, and they know it's the stolen wealth that they buy in these cars. I said, hey, I guess not. He said, I never understood the African leaders buy. Go get the Singaporean president's book. He wrote it in there, talking about all these moronic African leaders. He said one leader, he said all of them are fucking stupid. All of them. He said, but now Singapore is a first world country, and by idolizing, and Africa still mired in poverty. Make it make sense. He said, we don't got the resources of no Africa. They the ones with all the damn resources, he said. And they're still poor. And Singapore is now wealthy. Make it make sense.
It's crazy. It's the big head nigger syndrome, like we keep on saying as we bring up. It's the big head nigger syndrome that they have.
I'm the big head nigga.
There's a video I'm gonna share tomorrow, which was explaining Ruto's just attires, how he wears expensive stuff like watches, red balls.
They all do that. Exactly. Remember the damn thing about the Zambian president, all expensive shirts. They don't make it. It ain't made in Kenya. It's all European shit. Look at my expensive one because the big head. Joey, these people fucked up in the head. They have what they have as a what's what I'm looking for? They have an inferiority complex. They think buying shit from Europeans is going to make them look at the price I bought. Look at this European saying, "You fucking backward ass monkey nigga. I made it. You ain't make that, you monkey. You don't get no respect from us because you now buying it. So what? I still see you as an ignorant monkey." And that's what they haven't understood, Joe. They haven't understood self-worth comes from within, not from the bullshit you put on your body.
Let Trump keep on shitting on their face.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. And if Ibrahim Traoré don't got none of that expensive shit on at all. And they all what, Joby? Respect his ass. Because respect ain't got nothing to do with the kind of suit you got on, kind of watch you got on. Respect is demanded by you carry yourself.
The mindset too, literally.
Exactly, your mindset.
Poor childlike minds, literally. Want to be seen with the, I have a toy, I bought a toy. You know, it's only children that behave like that. I have a toy.
That's what it is.
I bought a toy. Mommy got me an extra toy. Please.
That's why President Nixon. These Africans are nice and sweet, but damn, they really are stupid and childlike.
It's crazy, but much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. I come to the end of today's conversation right there. I hope you enjoyed. To those who shall be catching this on a replay on BitChute, on YouTube, and for those who have been with me on the network, literally, thank you so much. Remember to download our app once again. Get yourself the amazing merchandise, the amazing supplements, which are all organic, and of course, have yourselves a beautiful day. Seeing you guys tonight on the Africa Today Show.
What's your name? Straight Jeezy? What's this guy's name? Straight Jeezy? What's that?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know. She names.
I don't know how to pronounce it either. Shout out to you, Straight Jeezy, or what?
Much
I
love.
apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. Brother or sister.
Later, I gotta rush to the hospital, and yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on those who are with us on the WhatsApp chat on what is happening. But much love, peace, and well.
Peace.